What's up, rap stars? It's your host, Romeo Santos and Kenny Fulton. Super excited to have you back here once again this week. What we wanted to do this week was talk to you guys about social media. Kenny and I have been noticing a lot, some mistakes that people are making in social media. And just to be clear, this is while we're on our social media journey. We're not here to tell you that we are social media experts. However, we have invested a massive amount of time, energy, and money into studying, learning, and coaching with people in the industry that have helped us to continue to refine and hone in and refocus our social media. And so we wanted to talk about that today. But before we get started, Kenny, man, how are you?
Doing well. I'm doing well. Staying warm. Fighting the weather and all the obstacles that it brings my way. But I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, man. I can't complain. And you know what I say, even if you do, nobody's going to listen anyways, right?
Right. That's right. That's right. I'll listen. All
right. I appreciate it. All right. So listen, why don't we jump in? Okay. We're going to keep this one short and sweet, but I think that there are going to be some actionable items that people can really take on. And I just want to start with what I believe and what all of the coaching and the education that we've received over the last, I guess, 18 months, really, right, has been that the biggest mistake that agents are making out there today with their social media is that they are just becoming white noise in the background because they're talking about just listed, just sold, under contract, sold for more than ask. If you want no more information, call me today. I can help you buy, looking for sellers, looking for buyers. And at the end of the day, they're just asking, they're just bombarding you, and you become almost a commercial, right? You just become a commercial that is interrupting your regularly scheduled programming of scrolling through social media, looking for something to numb your mind for the couple minutes that you have that'll entertain you. And what we're doing wrong as a whole for most agents, I believe, is that we're bombarding people with this type of stuff. Have you been seeing that as well, Kenny?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that I don't know what the rate of scrolling is on social media, but people do it so quickly, and you don't want to put up the same thing that everybody else is putting up because, like you said, it just becomes white noise. They're just skipping right through it, and you do a lot of effort, and it doesn't have that same return.
Right. And not only that, I mean, they're not human beings sitting behind a computer at Instagram, at Facebook, well, same company now, at TikTok, right? They're not doing that and then judging whether or not you have good content. There's a computer algorithm that's doing that. And how are they judging that? They're judging it based on how many people actually in that scroll, they stop and look for a second.
That's right.
Right. And if you're not getting that, if people keep scrolling by and you're getting zero engagement, people aren't liking it, people aren't hearting it, people aren't exclamation it, people aren't, head bombing, right? If they're not engaging with you, then all these social media platforms are basically going to understand that what you're putting out is spam and that it's non-relevant. And so it's not even going to show up in front of people. So you can have 5,000 people on your maximum friend list on Facebook, for example, or 10,000, and be verified on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it might be, and you won't be getting the eyeballs because you're not relevant, right? So you got to really, really be careful. So over this time period, we've started to cultivate and learn a lot of different ways. So I want to just give some folks some really actionable tips that they can go into to start to slowly improve their social media. And we're actually going to do it with something that if you're in sales, which most people listening to this podcast are, they should be able to pick up on this pretty quickly. And what is that acronym that we're going to share with everybody today?
FORD, FORD.
That's right. And FORD stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, right? So what are we talking about, Kenny? When we talk about FORD and utilizing that as kind of your roadmap on how you'll post on social media, what am I talking about? Help educate our listeners.
Well, one thing I can tell you is that when I got on social media in 2020, and according to Romeo and many others, I was like the last person to get on, and that's how it felt. It felt like a whole new world.
Yeah, he actually has messages. A plaque on his wall. Can you see it? Can you scroll in?
Yeah, it's up there. It's up
User
there.
number 18 billion.
Right, right. The whole world, and then me. And so it's definitely been a learning curve. But one thing I did notice was in the very beginning, I was very hesitant to even just show my face, just for my own, personal, self-conscious, like, nobody wants to see you, man. You're older now, and but guess what? Everybody else is older too.
Right.
So I kind of got over that piece, but I started to notice that the posts that were just me throwing up, just listed, just sold over asking, those were cool. You'll get a couple hearts. But if your face isn't in it, your voice isn't in it, you don't get nearly the amount of engagement you do as if you are in there. And so the first part was probably just more sharing like what I was doing or where I was going, or just me, because people are generally interested and care about who you are. And keep in mind, being the last person to get on social media, I'm starting off with like 10 followers, 50 followers. And these people actually really do know me. I don't have tens of thousands of people who don't even know who I am. I hope to get there, or will get there. But the first part is really just showing people like who you are and what you're about. And so you can use this acronym as a way of guiding how you're going to create your content and what you're going to share. So like family, for example, you're really great with, showing, I guess in the time that we've been working with each other, you've had more children and you see your babies. And even if I don't see them in person, I feel attached to them because I get to see their milestones and, the things that they're doing and, and how cute they are. And so it creates, even within me, even if we're not talking about the kids, even if we didn't have a day-to-day contact, I still feel like I know Romeo, I know what's going on. I know that he has two beautiful daughters. And, it just creates that sense of connection with somebody that it's kind of hard to get just on a phone call, on New Year's Eve, or a text message or something like that, even with the people that you do know.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, listen, like the goal of social media is to be able to tell your story and explain your journey and share with people what's going on in your life. And it's also a way to connect. And, I can't tell you how many people I haven't seen since high school, but I get to talk to them every once in a while. And we just talk about our kids. And I always say to them, I'm like, I'm so grateful for social media because it allows me to keep up with people that otherwise I would never see again or talk to again or know anything about them once high school was over. So that is really the point. And you've got to be a whole well-rounded person. People want to know about you, not just about what you do. So family, so folks, post about your kids. And if you're uncomfortable doing that, that's fine. You can talk about what you're doing. You can do funny little stuff about, what it's like to be a parent and like go through their room and all the things you have to clean up. Just showing that you have a family. You don't have to post pictures of your children. I do because I'm super partial. I love them and they're adorable. And man, it makes me proud when people are like, oh, they're so cute. They're so beautiful. So I do it. And I love it. And part of it is somewhat self-serving, but also I like to share with the world the beauty of my two little daughters. So I do that and it resonates with other people that have kids. It's for me and it works for me. You got to choose what works for you. It can be you and your wife going out to dinner. It can be you and your friends going on a friends trip. It can be you going to, shopping for Christmas by yourself. It doesn't matter. It's just something about your family is really important, right? Then you want to roll in that and it's got to be balanced to some degree, right? So then the next thing is occupation. Yeah. So occupation is what you do. That's when you get to do things, but don't just post your just listed, just sold. Do something where you're walking through a property and say, hey, I just noticed this really cool feature. I've never seen anything like this before. Have you guys ever seen anything like this? Would you use this if you had this in your house? That's going to get a ton of engagement. People are going to be so interested in what it is that you're talking about. And as soon as they see your face walking through a house with a backdrop, they're going to stop for a second and be like, what's he talking about? What's she talking about? They may not be interested at that moment, but it's another subconscious reminder that guess what you do? You sell real estate. You help people buy and sell real estate. So occupation is a big one. And again, it's easy because we do so much of that, at least 8 to 10 hours of most of our days to fill our feed with things about work, but you have to be careful to compose yourself and not do that. Now, it doesn't mean that it has to be family one day, occupation one day. They can all and should all be kind of in the same day through your journey because you're dealing with all these things through your journey, right? What else can you share about occupation that you think is important that I missed, Kenny?
Well, I like being creative with how you share your occupation. Like you said, don't just say, hey, I got a house for sale. Yeah. But even some of the smaller details, like what it's like, in the day of a life of a realtor,
Great one.
where you're going today, or, you know, just kind of the stops you have to make, or the tools. One of the ones that I'm going to put up soon is going to be about just some of the apps that we use, you know, because I got a question the other day about some of the tools that we use, and can they use these same kind of tools? And I was like, you know what, that's a really good question. I think it is helpful, like how, so just on the top of my head, like showing time, like how great of a tool, you know, that is for us when we're booking our showings, when we're on the go. Sometimes we're working and we're not sitting in front of our laptop. And so our phones need to have the as much of the functionality as our computers do. Home Snap, Century Key. I love the fact that my Apple Watch has a function with Century Key where I could unlock one of those boxes from my watch. That's
Right.
really cool.
Yeah.
So it can be things like that that are just interesting and unique about our job that people may not know.
Yeah, and even and I love that you just shared that, Kenny. So how cool would that be, just to be like, man, I'm super excited. I just saw something really cool, and I never knew I could do this. Agents, if you're out there, this is something you can do. You can use your phone and like actually do it. Then guess what you do? At Apple. Well, guess what? Who might pick that up and reshare what you just did? Apple. And if Apple reshares the video that you just did, do you think you might pick up a few more followers?
Just might.
Just might. You know, I mean, I'm no marketing genius, but that could be a really good strategy there. So I love that. Awesome. Okay. Now we're FO, family occupation. Okay. R, recreation. What do you like to do? You know, like I post at the gym, I post snowboarding, I post mountain biking, I post jogging, I post all sorts of different things because it's things that I'm doing, and it's just fun to share those things. Also, I know that by doing such, I'm going to connect with other people that like doing those things as well. And what have we been talking about? What is the goal of our business? What is our 2022 goal? What are we trying to do this year more than we've done ever before?
Make new connections.
Make new connections with
our sphere.
Our sphere, and to gain more people that are our ideal customers,
our ideal clients.
Our ideal clients,
yeah.
Right? Now, what I mean by that, when you guys are listening out there, is like Kenny and I are good friends, right? Or
right.
I was showing property on Sunday to my good friend Arslan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what we did after that? He brought his two kids, his two sons, who are huge now. It was so cool to see him. His one son is this big. He's in 10th grade. I was like, when did that happen? Right? COVID happened. I haven't seen him. He's friggin' a foot taller than me. After we were looking at multifamily properties and he's showing his sons about the value of investing in real estate, we then went and had brunch over at Le Diplomat in DC, which I haven't been out to eat in DC in forever. And like, that is an ideal client. Why? Not because of the expensive property that they might be buying, although that doesn't hurt for the pocket, of course, but because that connection, he brought his kids, he felt comfortable enough to do that. I felt comfortable enough to share the value of investing in real estate with his kids and teaching them early. I then sent him a text message with a couple books that I was thinking about while we were talking that he should have his sons listen to. Then we went out to eat together. Like, that's my ideal client.
Yeah.
It's my friend. My friend is my ideal client. The person that I can have a long relationship with, that's not just about business, but that we can go out and have dinner together, have a drink together. We can share time with our families together. We can go out on the boat together, whatever it might be. That is what I really love about the recreation, is that you may attract more people that are like you, that ultimately will work with you and also become friends of yours.
I like that. I also like that it still, because hopefully, where you're in a position to do some kind of recreational activity on a regular basis, it puts you in a frame of mind of documenting it. Sometimes I'm doing something really cool, and then I go on social media and I see that one of my friends has shared it, and I'll reshare it. I'll read, if they tag me, I'll put it in my story, my reel. But now it's a little bit more front of mind to be like, okay, when I go out today, make sure that I get some footage, make sure that I document what is happening in some kind of way in order to share it. So now when I have activities coming up, it's like, okay, yeah, we're going to go do this thing over the weekend. Would this be a good thing, to share, with my followers? Yeah, I think it would be.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, recreation could be going and cutting down your Christmas tree, right? That can be a rollover of family and recreation, because you're going out and you're doing something fun. So anything that you guys can do guys and gals, I apologize, anything that you all can do to share more about who you are as a whole rounded person, the more people are going to be interested in you, because everybody knows 10 real estate agents, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The only thing that's going to separate you is whether or not they connect with you. And if they don't connect with you, no matter what, they're going to work with somebody else. They're going to work with who they connect with. That's just how the world works. So we're now through 3 of our 4, right? F, family; O, occupation; R, recreation. And Kenny, D is for
Dreams.
dreams. That's right. So what am I talking about when I say dreams, Kenny?
Dreams, what you aspire to do, a lot of storytelling, goes really well with dreams. Even like with what we do, we have a lot of people who can relate to what we do now. I know some reports are coming out to like 10 million people quit their job in 2021. And many of those people aspire to be real estate agents or realtors, whatever they call it.
I saw a stat. You know how many new real estate agents became real estate agents in 2020 that left their job to get into real estate?
How many?
80,000 people.
Wow.
80,000 people.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. And maybe out of 80,000, 2 years from now, 8,000 will be left or less. So
if that, that's
it's a big number.
Man, that's a big one. Yeah. That's a really, really big one. Honestly, it might be less than that, which is sad, but it's for these types of things. People get in and they think that, oh yeah, it's just, super easy. And I'll just post every day that, I'm selling this or I'm doing that. It's not just about that. Like, people want to know what else there is about you. I'll give you a great example. I have a buddy that I used to bartend with years ago, who's an awesome dude. And I'm seeing him everywhere. But the only thing I'm seeing him doing is posting stuff that he's, out on a property, or it's an open house, or it's this or it's that, which is awesome because it makes me happy as an agent and his friend that I see that he's out there being active. But when I think about it from a consumer, and I know how cool he is, like I know that he's super into fitness and he's like power lifter and an old bartender who makes incredible drinks and like super talented and just a great guy all around. And he's not sharing any of that stuff. And he's missing the boat, I think, because there are a ton of people that I truly believe would resonate with him because he's a wonderful dude. He's a great dude. But right now, the only thing that people are seeing about him is that he's selling real estate. Not that that's a terrible thing, but you got to be more well-rounded. So when we're talking about our dreams, not your dreams, not like, that I had a dream last night. No, not I had a dream last night. A dream, like, what are your aspirations? What are your goals? Where do you want to go? What are you trying to do? What's important to you in your life? What do you want to leave as a legacy? Those are your dreams. And if you share those types of things, again, you're going to resonate with certain people. And listen, I want to encourage everybody out there listening, if you're having any limiting beliefs about, well, but if I post that, then people might not want to work with me. What do I say to that, Kenny?
You probably don't want to work with them anyway.
Exactly. The answer is good. You're narrowing the field. You shouldn't work with everybody.
Yeah, because we are defining our customers. But I like what you said about dreams, because when you think about dreams, you think about, I do this on Instagram. I see a car and I save it. It's my dream car, dream house, dream whatever material thing. But like, to your point, you might be the dream. Just you showing a little bit of your lifestyle, what happens outside of work, might be aspirational for somebody else. And you could tap into people's dreams in that kind of way just by sharing. So I like that a lot. Yeah,
100%. I mean, everybody has different dreams. Everybody has different values. And there are going to be people out there that are aspiring for the same types of things. And I love what you just said. Yeah, you might motivate somebody because what you have now might be somebody else's dream.
That's right. That's right.
So always remember that, and always be grateful and always be thankful. And I think just acknowledge and, be who you are, authentically you on social media. And don't worry about if you make a mistake or you fumble over words or you're doing a video and it didn't sound right, and don't try to do it over and over again. Or if people comment and say mean stuff, like, none of that matters. Just be who you are meant to be, and every day try to compete against yourself from yesterday and put out good content that is going to engage with people and be a good person, and the business will come naturally in the way that it should. And believe it or not, even when you think you're not doing what you should be doing, or you don't think you're doing as well as you are, you're going to meet somebody, run across somebody, and they're going to say something to you like, man, your social media game is killing it. I hope to be like you one day when I grow up. And you're like, oh, okay, people are noticing, right? So don't get so caught up in the results. Get caught up in the activities.
I like it.
Focus on the activities, and that's it. All right. Kenny, anything else that you think we should add to our listeners?
I think that's a great way to wrap this one up. And, just being consistent, posting regularly, and, I like the FORD acronym. I think it kind of helps you curate, what you're going to post, and making sure that you're doing a good, even spread of the type of content that you're putting out there. So I like it.
Awesome. Awesome. Listen, everybody out there, be on the lookout. We're also working on, see, I just messed up. We're also working on a new class for everybody about establishing your perfect client, building your personal brand, and ultimately working with the people that you want to work with. So we're really passionate about this. We really want to make sure that we go really deep into this, and we want to bring as much value to everybody out there as we possibly can. So as usual, Rap Stars, we're so grateful that you joined us today. Kenny, as always, thank you. You were fantastic. And Rap Stars, that's our show. We're out.